Aujourd'hui, voyons la différence entre trip, travel, journey, voyage, getaway, a tour. What is the difference between these 6 words? Not easy, right? Aujourd'hui, on va tout décrypter. Hello, it's Coach Joe, your English coach. Without further ado, let's get started. The first one is trip. How do we use trip? But first of all, what does trip mean? A trip is a short voyage or a short journey to a place professionally or personally. You go there professionally, perhaps for your business, or personally, perhaps it's a holiday or a vacation. That's what you call a trip. It's short, maybe a few days. That's what you call a trip. Let's make sentences, and then I will also tell you the things not to say with trip. So one example might be, I will take a trip to Gabon next week. That means it's going to be short, and somebody, if you're saying, I will take a trip to Gabon next week, to somebody, they might ask you, oh, is it for business or pleasure? So they will ask you if it's a professional trip or a personal trip, okay? So you can say it's both. It's business and pleasure. Typically, we talk about trips as business or pleasure, okay? So did you see how I added trip in the sentence? To take a trip or to go on a trip. You can also say, I will go on a trip to Gabon next week. And the person might say, oh, have a safe trip. Have a safe trip. Okay? That means they're telling you to go there safely, to do what you need to do safely, and then to return or to come back safely. Have a safe trip. Now, you shouldn't say to trip. Don't say, I will trip next week. All right, don't use it as a verb. You can also say, how long was your trip? Okay, how long was the trip? That means the time you spent there, not the time that it took you to go there. Okay, how long was your trip? Now, if you want to talk about the time that it took you to get there, if you flew by plane, they will say, how long was the flight? How long was the flight? If it was a car, they will say, how long was the drive? You understand? How long was the flight to get there? How long was your trip, the duration of your trip? Or how long was the drive if you drove there? Now, I told you not to say to trip. However, when we talk about travel, it's generally a verb. 99% of the time, you will use this as a verb instead of a noun. This is a noun, this is a noun, this is a noun, this is a noun. We can say this is a noun and a verb. That's it. Very interesting. Okay, so we'll talk about that shortly. All right, so here we'll say to travel, to travel. This example, we can also use travel. So we can say I will travel. Et vous voyez comment je prononce ça? J'ai pas dit travel. I will travel to Gabon next week. Don't say I will trip, but you should say I will travel. Now, the person wants to wish you to have a safe trip. Can the person use travel? Yes. There is an expression in English that is pretty much the same thing as have a safe trip. How do we say that? We say safe travels. And you see I put an S at the end of it. Don't say, do not say, ne dites pas have a safe travels. C'est juste safe travels. Ou bien have a safe trip. Ou bien safe trip. Ça, vous pouvez dire safe trip également. Mais ça, ne mettez pas have devant. Ok, ne dites pas have a safe travels. Déjà, vous ne pouvez pas dire a. Parce que travel, c'est au pluriel, n'est-ce pas? Alright? C'est une expression. Mais non, vous pouvez dire le fait de voyager est une bonne chose. Alors, est-ce que vous allez dire tripping is a good thing? Non. Vous allez plutôt dire traveling is a good thing. Traveling is a good thing, ou bien the fact of traveling is a good thing. Donc ici, vous voyez que traveling, j'ai mis un seul L, n'est-ce pas? Des fois, il se peut que vous voyez ça avec 2 L. C'est tout simplement géographiquement là où vous vous situez. Aux États-Unis, un seul L. En Grande-Bretagne, 2 L. Donc, prochainement, lorsque vous serez à Londres, vous allez voir traveling avec 2 L. Next, journey. Journey is the experience that you have from point A to point B. That experience is the journey, okay? And a journey can be short or a journey can be a little bit longer, but it's from point A to point B. So you have a journey, maybe your journey to work. We can say that my journey to work, that's an example. My journey to work was amazing because I like things to be amazing. My journey to work was amazing this morning, and my journey to work was amazing this morning. That means from the time you left home to the time you got to work, okay? From the time you left home to the time you got to work. The journey, that's from point A to point B. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical. You can also talk about life is a journey rather than a destination. Or success. Yeah, that's a good one because a lot of people think that success is a destination, but it's not. Success is a journey, and you need to learn to enjoy that journey. Success is a journey, not a destination. Very important, guys. If you want to be successful, you need to understand this basic principle that success is not a destination. You need to enjoy along the way. Can we say to journey? No, we cannot say to journey, okay? Can we say have a safe journey? That's a little bit weird. However, one thing that I want to mention is in French, when we say passe une bonne journée, des fois j'entends les francophones qui commencent à apprendre l'anglais traduire ça en quoi? Pass a good journey. Mais non, vous voyez que ce n'est pas normal de dire ça, n'est-ce pas? Parce que maintenant, vous savez ce que journey veut dire. Donc, vous ne pouvez plus faire cette erreur. Dorénavant, vous ne pouvez plus dire pass a good journey. C'est quoi? Passe une bonne journée, c'est have a good day. All right? Next, number 4. Comment est-ce qu'on prononce ce mot? C'est voyage. Voyage. A voyage. What is a voyage? A voyage is a very long trip. Generally on a boat, okay? Generally on a boat, on waters, on the ocean. It's a very long trip. So, an example of that can be, I am exhausted after this voyage. I am exhausted after this voyage, okay? That means it was a long, long trip, generally on a boat on the ocean, all right? You will not use voyage. 99% of the time you will use trip or you will use the verb to travel, but you will not use voyage. What is exhausted? Exhausted means very tired. Et vous voyez comment je prononce ça? Les francophones, ce n'est pas tired, ce n'est pas tired, ce n'est pas non plus tired, c'est tired, tired. All right? So now you understand how to use voyage. Mais non, les plus obscurs, c'est quoi? C'est getaway at tour. Et vous voyez comment je prononce ça, on va venir sur ça tout à l'heure. What is a getaway? A getaway is a short trip, generally maybe on a weekend, Saturday and Sunday, or a 2-day trip, or even a 1-day trip. You call that a getaway. Typically, a getaway is for personal reasons, meaning it's for pleasure. It's generally not a business trip, but a trip can be for business or personal. Getaway, on the other hand, c'est une très bonne expression ça. On the other hand, ça veut dire tout simplement d'un autre côté, ou bien par contre, on the other hand. Par contre définit plus on the other hand. Par contre, getaway, donc on the other hand, getaway is generally, okay, for pleasure. Here we can say, how was your getaway last weekend? How was your getaway last weekend? Et vous voyez comment je prononce là? Getaway, getaway. J'ai pas dit get away, get away. Getaway. How was your getaway last weekend? All right. So a getaway is just you went somewhere, you have fun, you came back quickly. Okay. All right. Now, how do we pronounce this? This is not tour, okay? This is not tour. This is a tour. A tour. tour. So here, what is a tour? A tour is typically when you go somewhere and then you have to go different places. You go here, you go there, you go here, you go here. We call that a tour, okay? So a tour again is when you visit different places. You go from one place, you go from point A to point B to point C to point D, and typically a tour can be guided or a tour may be non-guided. When it's guided, that means you have somebody who is showing you the different places and you pay this person or somebody else pays this professional who understands everything about the place that you are visiting. You can say, je vais faire une phrase, you can say, we went on a guided tour in Malaysia. Okay? Et vous voyez encore une fois le verbe to go on a tour. Okay? Donc, comme je l'avais dit auparavant, ça peut être soit un verbe ou bien ça peut être un nom. Donc vous pouvez dire a tour. Par exemple, la tournée de Beyoncé a duré 24 jours. Donc je ne sais pas, les fans de Beyoncé là, vous savez mieux que moi. Donc vous allez dire Beyoncé's tour lasted, ou bien je vais vous apprendre quelque chose d'autre. Was, on va mettre was là-bas. Comment est-ce qu'on peut terminer cette phrase? Was 24 days long, ok? 24 days long. La tournée de Beyoncé a duré 24 jours. Beyoncé's tour was 24 days long. All right, so tour can be a verb or can be a noun. Now you understand the difference between trip, travel, journey, voyage, getaway, and tour. So you know exactly how to use them. Listen, everybody, if you love this video, like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to click on the notification bell so that you never miss any of my videos. It's Coach Joe, your English coach. Take care.